Alright, so as always, we'll start off by talking about what DQ said in his presser, and mainly just want to talk about what he said about Terry in his presser. Obviously, 2 days ago, Terry requested a trade from the team, and that had the fan base up in a frenzy, but DQ spoke about it today in his presser, and he said that, it is a little bit of an emotional situation with Terry, but Terry did let him, AP, basically everybody know that the trade, well, he was going to request a trade before, the news actually broke, right? So DQ already knew about it. He said, we love Terry, really glad he's here. Hopefully he's out practicing soon. AP and the front office are trying to work out a deal with him, obviously, and he understands the business side of things. He hasn't really talked about it with the teams because he knows that they understand it's a business, and they are optimistic that Terry is out there sooner rather than later, and I am too. I'm optimistic that this contract still gets done. Obviously, it sucks that Terry has to request a trade as his last effort to try and get a deal done, but, hopefully it can get done sooner rather than later. So DQ said he loves to coach him, and hopefully he'll be back practicing soon. Moving on to some play-by-play, Jaden Daniels and Zach Ertz's connection still remains strong. Jaden had a couple nice passes to Zach Ertz today. Pretty sure Ertz had a touchdown as well over the middle of the field. So their connection, man, just remains strong. The other day, Jaden Daniels had 3 touchdown passes to Zach Ertz, including 2 on back-to-back 11v11 plays. So, hey, man, Zach Ertz is Jaden's safety blanket. He loves targeting Zach Ertz. He will continue to target Zach Ertz a whole lot this season, and especially over the middle of the field and in the red zone. Secondary guys made some good plays today. Jonathan Jones had a nice PBU on Debo, and Trey Amos also had a nice PBU on Debo, so Trey Amos continues to stand out. Mikey Sanders still had a pick today. Not sure who it was on, but he did have a pick, so Mikey Sanders still continues to show out. And then Quan Martin had an interception today. It was an overthrow from one of the quarterbacks intended for Senate, and he picked it off, Quan Martin. So, hey, man, our secondary, man, they continue to show out, and I'm just super excited to see what they do this upcoming season. JD5 hit Jalen Lane along the sideline deep. So Jalen Lane, he continues to show out, man. He's a guy that will not only help us on special teams this season, but help us on offense this year with the speed, his quickness, his ability to run deep, and also his run after catch ability. Now, Jalen Lane did have a drop today, so, didn't have the greatest day. However, overall, he stood out a whole lot in training camp. Today, Michael Gallup, he made a play. Hey, I haven't heard much about Michael Gallup, but he had a nice long pass from Mariota in 11v11 drills. Went for about 40 yards, so that's great to hear because Michael Gallup, he's in competition for the last receiver spot, receiver 6, and I haven't heard a lot about him, but today he did make a play, so that is good to hear. And then Luke McCaffrey, he had a fade route touchdown. Luke also did run a wrong route, and Jaden called him out for that. He was really mad, but Luke did have a nice touchdown catch today, so receivers making some plays today. Cam Medrano and Tyler Owens were both getting reps at linebacker with the ones. They were rotating, and Cam Medrano, he made a really good play in the backfield. He blew up a run, and later on, he had another big play. He had a nice pass breakup over the middle of the field. So that is really good to hear, man. Cam Medrano has been standing out a little bit over the past few practices, including today. Pretty sure a couple days ago, he had an interception over the middle. Sam Hartman was trying to throw over the middle, but Medrano picked him off. So it is good to hear Medrano balling out. I don't expect them to see much action on defense this year, mainly on special teams, but hey, man, if he continues to ball out during training camp in the preseason, maybe, just maybe, he gets some opportunities this year on defense. Matt Gay nailed all of his kicks today, including some from 50-plus yards out, which is great to hear, man. Maybe this year we can actually watch field goals, man, because last year, our field goal or our kicker situation was terrible. From Brandon McManus, who obviously, y'all know that whole situation, to Ramiz Ahmed, to Riley Patterson, to Cade York, to Austin Seibert, to Zane Gonzalez, to Greg Joseph. We had so many kickers last year. It was insane. So hopefully Matt Gay can actually be good this year, and so far so good. According to Josh Taylor, he hasn't seen Matt Gay miss a kick in any of the practices he has been to, so that is great to hear. So Matt Gay, man, hopefully he can allow us to actually watch field goals this year, because last year was awful at kicker. But I do have confidence in Matt Gay, and I think he will be good this year. He has a strong leg, and in years past he's been accurate, especially from long distances like 50 plus yards out. So I do think Matt Gay will be good this year for us. Jaden and Debo continue to build rapport with each other. Jaden hit Debo a couple times today. Pretty sure Debo had a touchdown today. Now, Debo did suffer a hand injury near the goal line. I think Kevin Seymour was covering him. He made a nice play on the ball, but he suffered an injury, a hand injury. He went to the trainers, and at first I was like, oh no, really? Terry's already out with the contract situation. Noah Brown is in and out of the lineup. We can't have Debo injured, but fortunately, he's good. I think he just jammed his hand, and he did an interview with NFL Network and Bleacher Report after practice. He looked fine. His personal chef said he's fine. John Keim said it's just a jammed finger, so it's good that Debo's fine, because we absolutely need him for this season, of course, and him and Jaden continue to build connection, which is really, really good to hear. And then Brandon Coleman also suffered an injury today. Now, we don't know what injury he suffered. He limped off the field under his own power to the sideline, and I guess he went back into the facility with the trainer, so Andrew Wiley took over for him at left guard, which is kind of interesting. So I assume Connerly went to right tackle with the first team, so hopefully Coleman's good. The guys have an off day tomorrow, so we won't hear about a Coleman update until Monday, but hopefully it's something minor and Coleman is fine, because I have high hopes for Coleman at left guard. The team has high hopes for Coleman at left guard, and we already had Nate Herbig retire, so that's guard depth retiring, so we need Brandon Coleman, so I expect him to be fine, but we shall see. So that is it for day 8 of Commanders training camp. Overall, pretty good training camp practice. Jaden looked sharp today. The defense continues to look pretty good. Didn't hear much from the running game today. I think JCM did have one good run on the sideline, so that's great to hear. JCM continues to ball out. The secondary continues to look really good. Guys like Mikey Sanderson, Quan Martin, Trey Amos continue to ball out, which is really, really good. Had some injury scares with Debo Coleman, but I expect both guys to be just fine. And that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're not already subbed up. Turn on notifications. Comment down below your thoughts or observations from today's training camp practice. And other than that, it's been King Sean, and I'm out. Peace.